Save the lid before you throw away an empty plastic container. Use a marker to indicate a center point and side slits on the plastic lid. Make side cuts along the side of the lid. Fold the lid in half and make a cut. Inflate the balloons to just below mid-size and secure them by tying the ends. Place the tied end of the balloon into the center slit. Then place additional balloons into the side slits. Turn the piece over and use tape to secure the back of the ties. Use double-sided tape or balloon adhesive to attach the balloons together and conceal the lid. Paint an entire cardboard tube using green acrylic paint. The last thing is to tape the painted cardboard tube to the back of the balloon bouquet. Place these in a vase for large props for a party or use as cute home decor. I hope this inspires you to use a container lid to craft a fun balloon bouquet.
I grabbed a corrugated cardboard box and a tin can from my recycling for this elegant home decor. I cut the cardboard about a 1/4 inch taller than the tin can. I wet a tea towel and pressed it onto the top of the cardboard to make it damp, not wet. This helped to loosen it so I could pull the top layer off and expose the corrugated part. Then I flipped it over and painted the top 1/2 inch and top edge antique white using acrylic paint. I flipped it back and painted the whole corrugated surface in antique white, and then I started blending with the other colors. I used a sponge to add black, gray, and I spray painted some silver for a metallic touch. I added more antique white on top and blended it all together using my paintbrush. Once dried, I wrapped it around the tin can, hot glued it together, and now I have a knockoff galvanized zinc vase, and you'd never know it came from the recycling bin. I hope this inspired you to dig into your recycling and create your own galvanized zinc-inspired vase.
Save boxes from online orders. Take an X-Acto knife and remove the lid flaps. Take hemp rope and a hot glue gun to begin wrapping the rope around the bottom sides of the box. Continue wrapping and gluing rope up the sides of the box. Flip the box over so the bottom is facing up. Take twine and begin gluing it to the perimeter of the bottom of the box. Work inwards towards the center. Take balsa wood oval or circle shapes and paint them with black paint. Print words to be displayed on the side of the box. These will be put on balsa wood in the font of choice. Cut them out and use pencil to cover the back of the paper. Then trace the font on the right side on the balsa wood. Use a chalkboard pen or a white paint pen to cover the pencil traced font. Allow time to dry. Use a hot glue gun to attach the labels to the side of the box. There you have it, an inexpensive way to create your own pantry storage for your home for less than $10. I hope this inspired you to try this organization repurposing project. So I'm going to start this project with an empty marinara jar, and then I'm bringing out Mod Podge, and I'm taking food coloring and putting the food coloring into the Mod Podge. Now, what I'm trying to accomplish in this is I want each of my bottles to look a little different, so I made sure to make smaller batches of each color that I want to use, but I'm essentially mixing it all together to turn it into kind of a murky brownish green color. So now that I have the color brown that I was looking for, what I'm going to be doing next is I'm getting out a cookie sheet and some newspaper. I'm laying the newspaper on the cookie sheet, and what I'm going to be doing is I'm pouring the mixture, the Mod Podge mixture, into the jar, and I'm spinning the jar to try and get as much coverage on the interior of the jar as I can with the Mod Podge mixture. And then once I've covered as much as I need to, I'm going to set my jar upside down so that the top is facing the newspaper and allow it to kind of dry and kind of let the excess drain out. You're going to want to let the jar sit for about an hour before we move on to the next step. So put it in a place where it's not going to be disturbed. Now for the next step, we're going to take all of our bottles and we're going to make sure that they're top side up, and we're going to bake these at 225 for about 45 minutes to 65 minutes. This all depends on if you check the bottles at 45 minutes and you still see any sort of streaks or anything that looks like the Mod Podge is dripping, you'll want to leave them in there a little bit longer. And as you can see, each of them kind of has a different tint, so you can really play around with the colors when you're mixing up your Mod Podge. I wanted to show you how different each of them look. They all kind of have a different tint to them. I hope this inspired you to try this DIY aged amber bottle project. It's beginner-friendly, faux vintage decor on a budget. Thanks for watching Home Talk, and see you next time.
Head to the recycle bin for this cute and creative idea that won't break the bank. To start, I'm choosing an LED puck light from the Dollar Tree. Lights that come with a remote would be an added bonus. To determine the wood sizes, one piece of wood is cut to the same width of the tin can, one piece slightly larger for the base, and 2 cedar strips measuring 12 inches long that will hold up the can. Working within the smaller board thickness, I'm pre-drilling 2 screw holes on the bottom of each cedar strip plus 1 hole near the top. I'm now choosing my paint colors of raw silk and coal black by Fusion Mineral Paint. Both cedar strips and the smaller wood block are being painted in 2 coats of black. Using a gloved hand for protection from the metal, I'm positioning the tin can over my hand, then painting it with 2 coats of raw silk. Now it's assembly time. The main base is being placed good side down, then the smaller block of wood is being positioned on top and traced. I'm now pre-drilling 4 screw holes in the main base within the marked area. Flipping the base good side up, I'm positioning the smaller board on top of the base, then holding that position, carefully flipping it around and attaching the 2 pieces together from the underside with screws. This will mount the 2 boards together without the screws showing. I'm now attaching the 2 cedar strips to both sides of the smaller piece of wood through the 2 screw holes. Now the tin can is being held in between the 2 cedar strips. I'm drilling a small hole through one side of the can using a small metal drill bit, then attaching the can to the strips with a short screw. You can also use a nut and bolt if preferred. I realized later that you could slightly see the inside of the can, so I'm doing a quick touch-up with the paint to cover any exposed metal. To enhance the overall look, I'm hot gluing some thin white rope to the entire edge of the open can's side, which softens the edges really nicely. Then with a quick push of a button, my tin can task light is ready to use wherever I wish. This hands-free task lighting is surprisingly very bright thanks to the LED puck, and the can is easy to position wherever you need a little bit of extra light. I love the aesthetic of the tones, which marries my home office really well. Plus, there's even a place for a sticky notepad to help me get my work done. Plus, my coffee cup even fits using it as a coaster.